Good morning everyone, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'll be Nat. This will be the Thundercat with a shitty tank. So what are we doing? We're on a commute on a Wednesday, you're going into work. Bike's a bit cold, so choke is on. I'm running a bit late, so I'm going to have to haul arse into work a little bit. That's nearly interesting. It's a horrible corner that. Where am I? What did I want to say? Oh, my paint's here. I'll chuck up a little picture. God bless Allen's of Netherton, I think it's called. It's not a particular brand loyalty, I can't see a fucking thing. Thank you, mate. It's not a particular seller loyalty, but I'll stick a link actually in the bottom, because there's no sponsorship or anything like that, but I've mentioned a few times about Canbrush products. I've had some really good success with them. I've never had any dramas with them. It's really thick paint. It's good stuff. And he does it basically cheaper than anyone else. But more importantly, it gets here bloody quick. So it arrived yesterday. I think I ordered it Saturday. You know, when they say 3 days, they mean 3 days. So that's arrived, which I'm really chuffed about. Also arrived is the 2K Clear, and again, no product endorsement, but I've tried others. I use Pro XL, and it's in my humble opinion the best, certainly the best that I've tried and the best that I've found. It goes on beautifully, it goes on nice and thick. It's got, you know, adjustable fan and all that sort of stuff. Not that you really use it, it's a bit gimmicky I think, but it's great stuff, and more importantly, it polishes up beautifully as well. And I have got previous videos of testing the petrol proofing of it, and it's really good. Really good. I mean, nothing is truly petrol proof, I suppose, but petrol resistance is really good on it. So yeah, ordered the Decal. Yeah, I haven't really mentioned it. I hate stickers on bikes with an absolute passion. I'm nothing against anyone that's, you know, stickers up their bike or anything like that, but you know, just when you're doing it, be aware you might think it's great, but if you're ever going to consider selling that bike, it has devalued it, because not everyone shares your tastes. Consequently, I don't put stickers on bikes, my own bikes or project bikes. Generally, I have in the past, and I've regretted it almost instantly. However, if you're painting your bike, you need something on it, because if it doesn't have anything on it at all, it just looks a little bit homespun, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm going for the Yamaha across the side of the tank, not the handwritten Thundercat that's on this, but the decal across there. Now, stupidly, I should have measured it before I sanded it off, but I didn't, because I'm an idiot. And again, the Thundercat UK Facebook site is fucking brilliant. So just, you know, stuck a comment on there. I've been a dick and sanded it off before I measured it. What size is it? And then actually from the administrator, Adrian, I think, I got a Facebook. I got a an IM. An almost immediate IM that said, There you go, mate, and logged me a screenshot of a site that has all of the dimensions of all of the decals, which was cool, which was really good of him. But and that's I've mentioned it before in a previous video. If you're fortunate to end up with a bike that has a good support network, it makes so much difference. Fogging up, the specs are fogging up. It makes so much difference, and frankly, it tends to be the slightly less glamorous bikes, and the more glamorous bikes are the ones where the Facebook sites are full of arseholes. That when you go in and say, you know, got a bone question about this, you'll get one person giving you, you know, let's say the correct answer, giving you an answer, and then 15 people taking the piss because you should know that, you fucking idiot. Yeah, rod off, not bothered, not interested. So I've got that on order. That should be here Friday. Today is Wednesday. So what it means, I'm pretty much geared up. Now my action plan is I've got, you know, summer Friday. I do tend to finish a little bit earlier on a Friday, and I get a little bit of daylight. So giving away completely what I'm going to do, because I'm rubbish at keeping fucking secrets anyway, is I'm going to go for the detailing and the candy coat, and I'm going to go blue with a paint effect on the bit of the tank that was silver. So that's the underside where it had, you know, there's a band, I can't really show you on the bike because I'm sat on it, there's a band around the back and two like V's across the side. That's going to go candy blue with the paint effect underneath it. I'm going to leave the top black and put the decal on it. So that means hopefully Friday afternoon I can get the detailing done and the candy done, which will give it 24 hours to dry, which is enough, which will then leave me on Saturday going for the 2K clear coat over the top of that eventual paint over the whole tank, and then depending on how it dries, depending on how I feel, potentially rubbing it down on Sunday evening and polishing it up on Sunday evening as well, which would be brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I don't think I'm going to get it mounted though. I just don't think I've got enough time, and you know, although a tank can be dry, you know, and the painting's, you know, mechanically or dry for mechanical polishing within 24 hours type thing, my experience has been, yep, you can do that, and that is absolutely fine. However, it is still slightly malleable for a good couple of days after that. So what I'll do, I will try and hold my enthusiasm back, which is always a bit tricky because I'm impatient at times. What I will try and do is get it all polished up and everything, and then leave it for a week to sort its life out, and then mount it the next weekend. Now I'll probably go back on that and end up mounting it midweek because I'm fundamentally impatient, but that's fine. What it also means, it's kind of, I'm now forming an ultimate picture of what the bike's going to look like. So, and I might stick up a picture actually while I'm talking, just so you know what I'm talking about. So, assuming that the tank is now done, I'm carrying on with the same pattern on the side of the tank, although it's black on the top and candy blue with an effect on the bottom. What I intend to do at the moment is either leave the top section of the fairing black and just leave it, not touch it, because it's absolutely fine, there is nothing wrong with it at all, and unlike Del Bollocks, I don't want to paint black over black, so leave that as is. And then the fairings, the side fairings, what I'm going to do is go for the bits that are silver on those fairings, so the middle sections, into a candy blue with an effect, so which is effectively, you know, black base coat and an effect in a metallic silver, and then candy blue over the top, and the candy blue kind of glows through where there's silver underneath it, so you get like a dark marbling effect type thing. So I'm going to do that on the bit that is silver, and then the bit that is orange, I am either going to do black and leave it black, or I'll do the like a photo negative of that middle now candy blue section and do that silver backing, do the effect with black, and then go over it in the candy coat. So it's kind of, you know, the opposite of the middle section. So the reason there's that little like pattern on the tank is it continues the silver stripe, if you like, through the fairing and onto the tank, which I love. I think that looks really cool. And then so I'm going to continue that through. It's just a question of whether or not it's going to be too much to do effectively the belly pan as well, to do the under section. I don't know yet, and I'm really gonna, there's an element of suck it and see. I want to see how it looks on the tank before I make a final decision. Why are you doing this, Nat? You could have just done it all black. Yeah, I could, but I've done all black bikes, I've done all coloured bikes. I haven't really done a mix, and I want to see whether or not it works. It might be too much, and I think I'll make the decision when I start doing the candy, or wrong, when I've got the candy on the tank and mounted, and I'll make that call then, and I'll canvas for opinions and bits and pieces. And there's a few other bits on the bike to sort out then as well. I mean, it's got orange rim tape at the moment, which is entirely practical because there's a lot of orange on the bike. That rim tape will have to come off when I chuck some glue on it or something similar. But yeah, it's all coming together. What else have I been doing? I've been pissing around with my helmet as well, if you'll excuse the pun. That sounds awful. So I've changed my GoPro mount, I've changed the mic setup, I've now moved the mic around the side of the jaw piece of my modular helmet, just to try and ease off on some of the Darth Vader-esque deep breathing that I was getting. I did have it right in front of my mouth, and it was, for one, it was catching a lot of wind, but for two, it was really catching me doing the old. Now, you know, as much as that's enjoyable and maybe erotic for some people that are listening, it didn't quite sound right. Don't get me wrong, still crackles, particularly at speed and at wind. There are ways to fix that, but they cost money, and I'm trying to do this on a shoestring basically. So I've done that. I've changed the mount. I did have it on a Velcro pad, which, well, I say did have it, it's for what, 3 years, I think? 3 years I had it like that, and it was fine. A little bit triggers brew, you know, oh, I've had it for 3 years, but actually I'd replaced every individual element of it at some point or another throughout that 3 years. And every time you tear Velcro off and put it back on, it does fundamentally weaken it. Not by a lot, not you notice each time, but you do notice each month. Now I've got this microphone piece on it, the microphone adapter. That was just making that a little bit harder. So I've gone for the proper mount. I've taken some photos, I'll chuck them up. I've gone for the proper mount. I did have the GoPro bolts through it, you know, the big hand ones, but because I needed 3 pieces to get it at the right angle and the right height, I looked like I'd sort of headbutted Frankenstein. There's bolts all over the place. So I've whipped those out and just replaced them with normal bolts, trimmed them to size and just screwed them in, and it just looks a lot smarter now. It looks smarter. I wasn't trying to make it look smarter, it looks a bit sleeker. It was just looking a bit cumbersome, frankly, and a bit, I believe the technical phrase is wanky. Right, that'll do me for me commute drive-in. Thanks very much for watching all, and look forward to the weekend when I get me paint stuff out again, and we'll see where we end up. Cheers all, ta-da.